Okay, so now we're going to go through the buy sheet. This is probably one of the most important tabs in the entire sheet. Now, this is pretty much all the store of information that you have. There are three main stores of information within this actual sheet: the buy sheet, the import sales, and import restock from Amazon. Two of them come from Amazon, and then the rest of the information comes from the buy sheet. This is whereby you are logging the items you are buying. Now, let's say, for example, you've got a team of VAs, or maybe there's a couple of you sourcing. What I'd really recommend is you don't put your deals for possible purchasing, or even deals to review on this sheet. Only use this sheet for actual purchases. The reason is if you start adding in lots of other deals that you're not purchasing, what happens? The sheet becomes very big and it becomes slower. The more data you put into this, the slower it runs. So keep this to only data or purchases you are actually buying, not things which you are not buying. So maybe run another sheet before of all your possible deals, use that to analyze the deals. Then once you buy it, move it into this sourcing sheet. So what we're going to do now is go through the buy sheet. Now the buy sheet is set up to really just work with your workflow. It's quite simple. You're going to kind of understand it. It's going to be, this is the deal I bought, here's how I purchased it, and then here's what I need to upload into Amazon, and then here's even like the invoice. It helps you with managing reconciliation afterwards for what's come in, and also even getting your invoices fetched for your accounting purposes. So let's now have a look at that buy sheet. Okay, so here we are in the buy sheet now. The buy sheet is broken up into different sections. It's quite simply just one Excel spreadsheet or one spreadsheet, and it's broken up into sections to help you think about how your workflow happens. So if I make it really simple, is the fact that we've got green, that is your purchase, i.e. these are deals you are looking to purchase. So once you've maybe identified some deals that you like, you've put them into the green section, and then you can move on to the next part. So I'll do a high-level overview and then we'll come back into each one in a minute. So first of all, green is where you are looking to purchase these deals. So put them in the green section. We also have grey sections throughout this sheet. These are underneath the green or the blue or other headings. If you ever see grey columns, it means don't edit this data. This is automatically generated or maybe imported from other parts of the sheet. So don't edit that, only fill in the white spaces. If you're seeing a grey space or a grey cell, don't touch it. It's something that's going on in the sheet that's going to help you out. So number one, we've got the green, which is I'm going to be buying them. And then let's move over. So right here, we've got the blue section. Now the blue section is the actual purchase itself. So what date did you purchase it? The cashback, it makes you think about, hey, am I looking at cashback for all my purchases? What's the payment method you use? And we look that up. We look up that details from the setup sheet, order numbers, comments, and feedback. You might have a purchasing manager that you're working with, or it might be multiple people using the same sheet, husband and wife team, for example. Then we've got the orange or yellow section. So the yellow section is about creating the custom SKUs. Now, the yellow section controls variables with this product. So you control things such as like VAT rate or the sourcing method or even the person who found it. This is really important. Why? Because quite simply, it allows you to create those custom SKUs. And by creating those custom SKUs, you can then get that information back once you've sold it, and it allows us to really get some intelligence into what's going on. You've then got the orange section. Now the orange section is about creating the listings uploader, which automatically uploads or helps you upload your listings into Amazon Seller Central on bulk. It will save you so much time, trust me, and we'll talk about that later. And then also as well, you've got the shipment creation. So you can create shipments on bulk quickly and efficiently. That's really going to help you out as well. The next section you've got is the custom SKU. So this is quite simply just a SKU that we're using. We show you that and you can see it created. And that's the SKU that's going to be uploaded into Amazon Seller Central. And SKU is stock keeping unit. It's a unique identifier for that product. And then finally, we've got the purple section. And the purple section is talking about once you've got the items delivered into your warehouse, your house, or wherever they are, you can mark them off. And it will tell you if you are short or if you are not. And after that as well, you can actually record what the invoice number is. So you can use this sheet really simply to help you identify what invoices you need to go out and fetch. And obviously you know the supplier and the products you purchased. So you can log that in there and make sure that your accounts and bookkeeping are kept up to date. And it just helps you with all that. So that's a quick high-level overview. Let's go in now and have a look in a bit more detail into each section. So we're now back in the green section. Now in the green section, we've kind of broken this down into the real basics. You can put in a lot more information, but the real fundamentals are, what do you really want to know about your products? So you generally want to know what the product name is, what the ASIN, obviously you need to know that, category if you're interested in categories, and then the buy sell price and where you sourced it from. The other one you've got here is the bundles. So if you leave it blank, it's not a bundle, but if you put any number in there at all, the system is going to understand that you have made a bundle. So this is, for example, when you've got like 2 items and they need to be bundled into one. So you might be buying 10 of them, but of which it only creates 5 Amazon ASINs. So you can in here put, for example, bundle quantity 2, and then your buy quantity would be 10, and that would generate 5 Amazon products, but you're buying 10 from the supplier. So it understands that, so you can put that in as well. Now in the grey, we have information which we generate. So we have things like delivery fee. So in the next tab, we have delivery costs, and we'll do another video about that. That's where we are looking up your purchase information, finding out how much you spent on delivery and adding that back into the cost of that item. But what we're not doing is adding it into the buy price. We still keep your buy price what it actually is for purchasing. We then also look at how much you've spent on that total line. We also look at the fee information, and we fetch that from the API, and that will update overnight, so you might not get that straight away when you put an ASIN in. We'll then work out your total estimated profit, and we'll look at your expected ROI on that product. And then finally, we generate an Amazon link if you want to click on that. And we also dynamically, automatically create the store name from the source URL. So you don't even need to type in the store name. We've got that already. We generate it automatically. So that's a little bit about the purchasing, or as you say, the buy before you actually purchase. So you've logged all the products you want to purchase. Then you come into the blue section. Now the blue section is, you've logged the products that you want. Now it's about physically buying them. We've got an automatically generated store name, but for you, put in the date you've purchased. So when did you buy this product? You can put that date in here. You can put in the cashback and promo code or any information. This information is super important. Number one, it makes you think about cashback, but number two, if you're using a voucher code, you can store that code there for when you're doing reorders. You can then have a look at that again and say, oh, that's the code that I used. You can then also code up what payment method you're using, so understand where you're spending your money. And then also as well, put the actual order number in. So once you've made a payment, you can put the order number in, and we use that information to understand which products are grouped together in an order. So that order number is going to be super helpful. Now, if you've got any comments or maybe feedback, you've got a purchasing manager or maybe the husband and wife team, that's going to be useful for you. Maybe someone doing the review puts a comment in, and then someone can give feedback. That's going to be really helpful for you. So then we move on to the orange or the yellow section. Now the yellow section is about controlling the custom SKUs. So the custom SKUs are unique information or stock keeping unit, a SKU that we upload to Amazon. Now in here we can set the VAT rate, and that's really important because if you're a VAT registered seller, you can set the different rates. If you're a non-VAT registered seller, just leave the VAT rate blank. Don't touch it at all, leave it blank. It will just set to your default Amazon when you upload. But if you are a VAT registered seller, then what you want to do is come in here and to say you can set 20%, 0%, 5%. Now these are all preset, and what they will do is they will change the coding in your SKU when you upload it to Amazon, and that will change the tax code in Amazon Seller Central. So that's already pre-built in. You just need to change the VAT code here, and that's going to have an impact afterwards. You can also change the sourcing method, choose which one you want, and if you want to know, they are pulled dynamically from the setup sheet. So in the setup sheet, you can type in what all your different sourcing methods are. And this is, for example, for you understanding, maybe you're using sourcing software, deal services, and manual sourcing, and you want to understand where am I spending all my money, which ones are giving me great deals, which ones are not. You can now do the analysis by coding up each individual purchase you do with how you found it, what's the method you're using, and that's going to give you a good ROI. And then finally, if you've got a team, maybe a husband and wife team, you want to code each product up to who found it, i.e. you want to have competitions, maybe see if your VA is actually adding or value and how much value they're adding. You can code it up to each individual VA, and again, that drop down box there is set up on the setup sheet. Now for you, you don't have to put anything in these. If you want to literally have them blank, that is not a problem. You can leave them blank, but it's up to you. So the whole sheet will work with them being blank, but also as well, it will work with them being coded up. So don't feel like you need to code anything. One top thing to say is don't use all. There's not a section that you want. If you want to add it as all sellers, just leave it as blank. i.e. if you're not worried about coding up as a VA, just leave it as blank. So the next bit we have here is the listing loader. Now, quite simply, if you're not wanting to upload this product to Amazon, leave it blank. But if you are, add yes in, that's it. And then what that'll do is it will dynamically update that tab in the sheet. Right now we won't go through that, but there'll be a video later on about how this works. But this just controls the data that we feed into another sheet that speeds up your listing loading process, and the next one, shipment creation process. Really, really super useful. So what we do here is show you the custom SKU. So this is the SKU that we're uploading to Amazon, and we encode this SKU with information. And the reason why we do this is it's super, super helpful for you. The SKU is created by having the store, the first 5 digits of store, so like Playmobil, how much you paid for it, £14.50, the date at which you actually bought that, so you can see what's the sourcing method, what the estimated sale price is, and then who found it. So whenever you're looking at your phone, you can have a look at your phone, maybe on Seller Central. When you've sold a product, you don't even have to worry about finding that product and then looking it up in your software or anything. You can literally straight away see on your phone, Amazon Seller Central sold this item, I don't know, £33. And you can look at the SKU and it will tell you where you bought it from, what price you paid for it, when you bought it, and how much you thought you were going to sell it for. In this case, it was $32.84, and then also who found it. So it's going to give you really good insights into that product you've just sold without even needing to check the data. So custom SKUs, amazing things to work with. And then finally, we move on to the purple section. So the purple section is about invoice reconciliation or stock reconciliation on delivery and getting your invoices. So number one, you've got put in here your delivery quantity, and you can see here if you are putting in delivered quantity 0, it's going to say delivery short. But you can put in, for example, leave it blank, it's still going to say that delivery is short. But the one thing that's going to happen is it's going to just help you identify maybe what stock you're missing, because my God, you are spending hundreds, if not thousands of pounds every single day, every single week on stock, and you want to make sure that you're reconciling that versus your purchases. So this sheet really helps you understand what you bought, but not only that, what you've had delivered and what's missing, so you can go and chase that. And you can come in here, we've got a brilliant notes section, you can just add in the notes, chase it up. Now, quick thing for you, if you do put in 0, if you leave it at 0, what's going to happen, i.e. that means that maybe that delivery never came in or there's a problem with it, it's going to go back into the sheet and it's going to change that purchases for that day. So we'll go back now and have a quick look at that, and that affects the rest of the sheet. So it means if it's blank, we're waiting for it to come in. But if you put 0 in, 0 delivered, that means you've already investigated this, you've looked into it, and there is no stock coming in. So let's just have a quick look, go back across. What you're going to see here is that while we are buying 2 of this item, total spend is actually 0 because we've accepted there are 0 items coming in. And if you can see, what we've said here is in the notes, not being charged as per invoice confirmed in bank details. That's going to be super helpful. And then finally, the final bit in purple is quite simply to help you with your accounts, your bookkeeping, getting your invoices up to date. You've got a column here where you can put in the invoice number to show that you've gone out, fetched that, and you have that invoice back. So not only does this sheet help manage your whole purchasing process, uploading to Amazon Seller Central, creating custom SKUs, and even allowing you to do inventory reconciliation on your purchases from suppliers, it also helps you with your bookkeeping. It's going to just help speed up and make your process so much more efficient. But that is a little bit about the buy sheet.